What is up, guys? Welcome to this quick and easy shoulder mobility video. 3 simple exercises that you can do, that almost everyone can do to improve their shoulder mobility and shoulder health. Because I think this is important just because I've worked with so many people and I've seen so many people with shoulder impingements, shoulder problems, shoulder pain, a lack of shoulder mobility, tight neck, tight shoulders, tight traps, whatever it is, like anything that's here, a lot of people are struggling with. And what I've seen in the past is a lot of people, they just go the classic route of doing rotator cuff exercises. Maybe their coach told them that, maybe their physio told them that, and they do this for many months, sometimes some people even years, and they don't really see the results that they want. And not to say that like these exercises are bad or useless. I absolutely think they absolutely have their place, but in my opinion, they miss a few important factors. And I want to address 3 really key factors for shoulder health or shoulder mobility in this quick video. And then I want to actually give you 3 exercises that address these 3 key underlying factors that hold a lot of people back from having nice and smooth moving shoulders that are not pinchy or like they're not hurtful. Okay. And the first factor, the first key factor that I actually want to quickly talk about, I don't want to make this video too long, is the rib cage. Because the rib cage, the scapula, and the humerus actually play a really important role for shoulder mobility. And what I see with a lot of people is they not only have a lack of shoulder mobility, but a lot of people also have a lot of tension around their shoulder blade area. And that is something that is very common, and that has a lot to do actually with the way people breathe. And not necessarily to say you're breathing wrong, breathe more through your nose or like breathe more through your stomach. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm more talking about the ability to expand the rib cage so the scapula can glide smoothly on the rib cage. And you might ask yourself, why is that important? Like, what has the scapula to do with my shoulder? Well, the scapula and the humerus actually form the scapulo-humeral joint, which is our shoulder joint. And what's really important here is actually how well the scapula is able to glide on the rib cage. And here's where a lot of people have issues. If the rib cage, if you actually have this like flat T-spine, the rib cage can't expand well, this limits the movement of the scapula, which then translates over to a very tight and oftentimes achy shoulder. And what we need to do here is actually not do rotator cuff exercise. We actually want to address the expansion of the rib cage, back, side, and to the front. Kind of like this 3D expansion, okay? And the first drill that I quickly want to share with you is actually a drill that addresses exactly that, which is actually specifically the ability to expand the rib cage, front, side, and back. And what you want to do here is actually, before we get into the drill, you actually want to get a little measurement in how well these drills affect you, okay? And what you can do here, just really quickly, is you can, for example, test your internal rotation and your external rotation of your shoulder, okay? So a lot of people, they lack some kind of movement here in their external or internal rotation. You can technically also do your shoulder flexion assessment. That's really just up to you. You just want to have something that you can measure, okay? Something that you actually can measure the results with, because every nervous system responds differently to drills, and you kind of want to see, okay, how do these drills affect you right away? Because that's the beauty when we're talking about neurotraining. When we address the nervous system will sense, hold on a second, all of a sudden I can move better. All of a sudden there is more range of motion here. I feel safer, and that oftentimes actually decreases the muscle tone. Because at the end of the day, that's also something that so many people just misunderstand. It's not the length of the muscle that determines how flexible you are, like how mobile you are. It's actually the nervous system. It's actually the brain controlling that muscle tension, okay? So the first drill that we're going to do, it's going to be interesting with that mic, but I'll try my best. You want to get into this like side lying position here. And this is really interesting. You actually want to ideally hold on to your head like this. Okay, so you stabilize your head. The knees are on top of each other. And then what you actually want to do is you want to look, while obviously you're stabilizing your head, you want to look at your big thumb. Okay, you're going to look at your big thumb, and as you inhale, you turn the kettlebell outwards. Okay, as you twist back, you exhale. Inhale, exhale. We want to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Okay, so inhale, exhale. And actually, like the way it should be done, I'm just going to show it to you correctly so you don't do this wrong at home. It's like this. Okay, so you want to do this for about 60 to 90 seconds. If both of your shoulders are tight, you can absolutely do this on both sides. And again, this is going to give you a lot of that expansion, front, side, and back. Oftentimes people actually I just did this. And I mean, I've been working a lot on my desk today. So I actually already feel like looser and just better. Okay, so it's a really cool and simple drill that you can do multiple times a day. So that actually addresses the rib cage. Of course, there's so many more cool exercises that we can do here, but this would be one where probably a lot of people would have an easy time here. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can also use a light dumbbell. But I would say like a kettlebell. I have a 15-pound kettlebell here. That probably would be ideal. Of course, if you're a female or like if you're not that strong, you can use less weight. I mean, that's not really a lot of weight, but you can use less weight, or I mean, if you want to challenge yourself, you can also use more weight. Okay, so that's going to be the first exercise. The second exercise, or let's say the second factor that actually limits a lot of people's ability to move their shoulders well, is actually a lack of proprioception around the shoulder. So what is proprioception? It's actually the ability, when you close your eyes, to know where is your shoulder in space. Okay, that is a very important neurological skill that you need to have to actually move your joints well, and kind of also signal your brain that it feels safe in that area. Okay, and what we want to do here is actually do a little peripheral nerve drill. Okay, we have a really important nerve that goes through our shoulder that also innervates our deltoid muscle, which is the axillary nerve. Okay, and ideally you want to do this standing up. I'm just going to demonstrate this in a seated position. But what you want to do here is you kind of want to stretch the nerve a little bit, because nerves also need to be able to move well. Okay, and what we can do here is just get nice and long here from your chest. You're going to, first of all, start here in this 90-degree angle, but then you're going to move it down to like this 45-degree angle. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to turn your head away. You want to look up, so your eyes go up and right, diagonal. Okay, and then same thing here. As we're inhaling, we're going into supination. As we're exhaling, we're going into pronation. Inhale it. Exhale. So you're just twisting, not like this, of course, not that fast, but just slowly. And for a lot of people, they don't really need a lot of tension here. So you kind of want to depress the scapula. So you want to depress your shoulder. But for some people, honestly, just going here to the side, 45-degree, looking up, that's already enough. For some people, they might need a little bit more retraction of the shoulders, so they need to kind of bring the shoulder back and down. But you only want to have, like, you don't want to have too much tension on the nerve. It's not like a crazy, painful stretch or anything. It is kind of like somewhere between 40 and 50% of that tension that you kind of want to feel. For some people, it's 20. For some people, it's 30%. It's just really depending on you as the individual. Just feel whichever one feels nice and kind of enjoyable. Okay, you want to do that 60, 90 seconds, retest shoulder mobility. Okay, so that's proprioception. It's going to help you actually, when you close your eyes, feel your shoulder better. Okay, actually, if you did this at home, close your eyes, feel how your shoulder feels now. You're going to feel that shoulder so much more. Okay, this is a really important factor when it comes to shoulder health. And then the last one is actually one of my favorite ones, which is the visual system. Our visual system is extremely important for anything related to neck tension, because we have these 6 extraocular muscles. So believe it or not, like we have 6 muscles that are actually moving our eyeballs, which I think is so fascinating. The cool thing is we can actually train these muscles too, to get them stronger, to get them more flexible. And we can see that straight connection between the eyes and the suboccipital muscles, which then can also translate over to like a tightness around the neck. Okay, we also know that moving the eyes a certain way can impact a lot of different brain areas, which is all something that you're going to learn at our seminars at Neurotraining Institute. But just know that moving the eyes a certain way can actually be really powerful. And one thing that I like to do here is actually a drill that I like to call the big H. I'm just going to put my mic here. I hope this holds. Okay. And I hope you can still hear me. And what we want to do here, you're going to stretch your arms out like this. You've probably, like if you follow me, you've probably seen me do that drill. Why do I recommend that drill so often? Because usually I like to look at people's eyes and the way they move, and then actually give them very specific drills for their visual system. But this is a very general drill that actually can help. This song is being so hard. That's actually a really cool drill that can help many people just move all 6 extraocular muscles, okay? On the right eye and on the left eye. That's why this is a generally really good drill for a lot of people. Okay, so you stretch out your arms like this, and then you just move your fingers as a big H. Okay, so you're just forming the letter H in the air. You don't move your neck, you don't move your torso, you're just moving your eyes. And it's going to stretch the eyeballs, or better said, the extraocular muscles, and retest your shoulder. I always find it fascinating how much impact this can have on people's shoulder mobility. So again, these are 3 important factors. Number 1, your rib cage expansion, your rib cage mobility. Number 2, proprioception, and then number 3, your visual system. Okay, and addressing these 3 factors, in my opinion, is such a key factor, or like such a key aspect for helping people move their shoulders better. And yeah, just give it a shot. See how it goes. See how you feel with the drills. Again, do the drills for about 60 to 90 seconds. See how your shoulders feel after. My shoulder feels phenomenal now after doing these drills. And I hope this was helpful. And I see you guys in the next video.